Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Time to take that walk and go see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer, we're going to finish off the Alchemist beers that Greg had sent me. This is the third and last one from that brewery, and he actually went to the brewery and picked it up. So he's telling me these beers are no more than 2 to 3 weeks old. These guys don't date their stuff, which they would, but if everything's flying out the door at the brewery, I can understand why they do not. Just wish they would. A lot of people pick up these beers and trade them and sell them and do all kind of crazy stuff, and you never know how old a beer you're going to get if you did not get it at the brewery. That's why I like to see the dating go on them. The note he sent with the beer, says here, Luscious Russian Imperial Stout ranked number 241 on Beer Advocate to 250. And it says, brings a pitch black to a whole new level. It's like they used ink when they brewed it, is what he says. So it must be a very dark black beer. And everybody's calling it an Imperial Stout or a Russian Imperial Stout. And it has British Imperial Stout underneath the label, the name on the label here. 9.2% alcohol by volume. And from what I've read, they've done several different versions of this. They even did 11+ percenter on this before. So the 9.2% is this year's edition, the 2017 edition. So that's what this beer is. So Greg, once again, my friend, my brother, I do appreciate you, the beer packages that you do send me. And I especially appreciate all the excellent, top-notch, outstanding world-class beers that you have been sending me. I do appreciate it, sir. Final beer of the evening for me. That's why I jerked this Imperial Stout out, and like I said, I started off with the lower ABVs and work my way up. I only usually do 2 or 3 beer reviews. Every now and then I'll get 4 in on a session, but try not to, because when I drink the 4th one, and it's a 12-15%er, and I've already had a 9 or a 10 and an 8 and a 6, kind of feel a little on the droggy side the next day when I've had 4 of those tasty beers. So trying to cut back and not do 4 and do 3, especially if I'm drinking something of this magnitude or bigger. This is not too bad at 9.2%. So I have done a 9.2%, then went into an 11 or a 12 or even a bigger beer for the final beer of the evening. It takes its toll on this old man sometimes. So we're gonna finish it up with this one tonight. So this is their Luscious, and these guys are out of Stowe, Vermont, and he made the trip there and picked it up. Says here, a British Imperial Stout coming in at 9.2%. Admin note: this is for the canned versions of Luscious that states 9.2% on the label. So far, 2 batches of this have been released, one in 2016 and another in 2017. It's safe to assume that this is the catch-all going forward. So maybe they're going to try to limit it to a 9.2% and not do the 11% anymore. That's what I'm taking from that information. So, IBUs, let's look over to Untapped, see if they by chance have it. They do not. And it's not written on the can here, guys. So let's get it on. Let's get it on and see what we got here. And the British, to me, just my opinion, just my humble opinion, the British stouts seem to be a little more subdued as far as flavor and aromas and all that. They're usually not up to the 9%. Some are, but most of them are a little less than that. So let's see what this one brings to the table. I'm going to reserve judgment or shut my mouth for a while. Tell you the food pairings for this. Ooh, that is black coming out. That looks like used motor oil coming out of the can. It says chocolate dessert digestive. Glass right, a pint, Becker, 9 tumbler snifter. I got my favorite snifter. It says here can be sold up for a long period of time. It doesn't mention anything about any coffee being used, but a lot of times with these beers you will get some coffee notes from the malts, and it'll taste like it actually has some coffee influences to it. About a half a finger of head on that, and it looks pitch black, guys. It looks dark, dark, dark. I don't see any light coming through it whatsoever. Let's get a nose to it. Rich roasted malt, caramel, toffee, maybe a little bit of molasses. Not a big chocolate aroma or on the nose here. Maybe a little hint of some bittersweet chocolate. Don't think they didn't mention anything about any lactose being used. Smells wonderful, and I am getting some slight hint of some coffee. Smells very, very nice. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Greg. Wonderful aroma. Oh, wow. That's delicious. That is absolutely delicious, guys. I am getting coffee on the taste, bittersweet chocolate, rich roasted malt. It does have some nice sweetness to it, so they may have used some lactose. That's very, very good. That's an excellent beer. That is a well-made beer. I told you this on yesterday's beer review and the day before. This is the third Alchemist beer that we've done in a row here, from the ones that Greg has sent me, and they have all been A beers so far, and this is no exception, guys. Right now it is definitely in the A category, but we're going to sip on it, let it come up to room temperature. This dark beer will probably go very well with a nice Maduro wrapped cigar. Might step out on the deck and hit that for a little bit. The wind's blowing about 40-50 miles an hour, and it has been for the last couple of days. It was 80 degrees 4 days ago, and now it's supposed to get down into 20s, and it's supposed to be back up in the 70s by Sunday. Today is the 7th, which is a Friday evening. So by Sunday, it's supposed to get back up into the 70s, and 70s all next week. So I'm ready for the 70s. I'm tired of these 20s and 30s. I'm ready for some a little bit warmer temperature. Not ready for the 90s quite yet, but I do like the 70s. That's I call that fat boys weather. Yeah, not too cold, not too hot, just right. Then I'm gonna pour the rest of this in here, and we're gonna go out there, and boy, that is pitch black coming out of that can. And the head is a chocolatey khaki colored. Very impressive beer. Very impressive beer, guys. Any of you guys that are up there in Vermont, close to Stowe, where this brewery is located, I'm sure most of you probably already visited there. If I was up there, I'd be visiting damn regular, more than likely. And guys like Greg that don't live there, that make the trip up there, and there are a lot of people that make that venture to these excellent craft beer breweries that put out these A beers and world-class beers, and beers like Heady Topper that are highly sought after, and people are wanting to trade and do all kinds of things to get their hands on them, because they almost have a cult following that they really do, and they're in the top 5, top 10, if not top 5, in the craft beer hotbed, especially the Focal Banger and the Heady Topper. People are just clamoring to get their hands on them, and within reason, because they make an awesome beer. And I don't think, like I said, I don't think they make a bad beer. So let's sip on this, see where it ends up. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Been sipping on about 30 minutes. Awesome lacing is left on the glass. Went very well with the cigar that I was puffing on outside. Well made. Awesomely well made. Don't know if I would consider it a British style stout. That's what it's got here, British Imperial Stout. Tastes more like a typical American Russian Imperial Stout rather than a English style stout. Rich roasted malt. Heavy on the roasted malt. Bittersweet chocolate. Hints of some dark fruit in there. A nice candied molasses taste to it. It's not dry like a typical British stout would be. Very enjoyable. Very, very nice beer. I would buy this beer if I could get it here. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Well-made beer. And all the beers these guys do at Alchemist are top-notch. They don't make a bad beer as far as I'm concerned. I've not had a bad one from them. I can't get them here, so everything that's been sent to me has been pretty damn tasty. So, final chug. Awesome aroma. That's delicious, guys. It's absolutely delicious. I think this is a tad better than the previous two that we've done that Greg sent me, the wit beer and the other one was the Saison, I think, yeah. Of course, this is more in my favorite style with being a stout, Imperial Stout, rather than the wit beer or the Saisons. I do enjoy those, but I'm a hophead and I like the darker beers too, so this is more up my alley than those two were. So I think this is just a tad better than the other two were, but you know, people that are into the Saisons and the wit beers may say, oh my God, that beer was a 10, you gave it a A-, 92. I'm not going to argue with that. If you're into that style, this may blow your hair back and your socks off and everything. This didn't blow my hair back or my socks off, but I thought it was better than the other two. So I'm going to give this the A, straight down the middle of the A category, 95 for me on this one, guys. So let's run over and see what everybody else thinks. Over to Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate has 97, world class. I would not argue with those numbers at all. It is a world-class beer. It's very, very tasty. I just don't think, to me, it fits more into the American or the Russian Imperial Stout, more of a British version. It's not quite as dry as the British versions that I've had so far. It has a little bit more sweetness to it and not quite as dry. Over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer has no score. Not enough people have commented to give it a score. And our final check-in, we're running over to Untapped, and they have it at Luscious, the 2017 edition, at 9.2%. They're giving it 4.37, which is in their middle-of-the-road category. That's almost, I've not seen anything better than a 4.56 or 4.57 from those guys over there. So 4.37, I consider that an A category, and I'm in agreement with that. That's about where I am putting it, right smack dab in the middle of the A category. Not A+, not A-, right in the A category. So, if you've had this one from the Alchemist, this is their Luscious. They're calling it an English Imperial Stout, which I don't think is quite to, it's my opinion, just my opinion. I don't think it fits quite to that category. I think it's more of an American or a Russian Imperial Stout, more than an English Imperial Stout, because I don't think it's quite as dry as the English versions I've had so far. So, if you've had it, let me know what you think, guys. Come back tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to go see what's in the fridge. See you then.